While we all busy looking up at the stars, searching for the next big frontier, maybe we should be looking down. Because the greatest unknown on this planet isn't in the cosmos, it's right here beneath the waves. We're talking about a world of total darkness and bone crushing pressure where more than 80% of our oceans are still a complete mystery, unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored. So, what secrets are hiding in the deepest, most isolated corners of our world? Our expedition into the abyss kicks off in the southwest Pacific, just north of New Zealand, at our fifth deepest stop, the Kermadec Trench. This massive chasm plunges to a staggering 10,147 meters. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. It's a place of incredible geological power, where the Pacific tectonic plate is being violently shoved under the Australian plate, creating a seriously dynamic and volatile environment. Until recently, scientists had very little idea what could actually survive down here, but joint expeditions have sent advanced submersibles, like the Findushe, into its crushing depths, and what they found defied all expectations. At a spot called the Shoal Deep, one of the trench's lowest points, researchers discovered that these so-called Hadal zones aren't barren wastelands at all. They're hotspots of biological activity, home to bustling communities of bizarre ghost white, snailfish, and swarms of amphipods. What's truly wild are the active volcanoes and hydrothermal vents that dot the trench. Life here doesn't need sunlight, it's chemosynthetic, which is a fancy way of saying it gets its energy from chemical reactions. These creatures are literally feeding on volcanic gases. Recent missions are confirming that life in the Kermadec Trench is far more diverse than anyone believed, with new species being identified that have never been seen by human eyes. This trench is a natural laboratory, showing us just how tough life can be. Next, we head north to the freezing waters of the Northwest Pacific, just off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. This is the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench, a forbidding scar in the seafloor that drops to about 10,500 meters. It's one of the most tectonically active and least explored trenches on the planet, and its icy temperatures and constant seismic activity make it an incredibly tough place to study. For years, the assumption was that only the hardiest microbes could possibly handle these conditions, but a recent expedition changed everything. Scientists used a manned submersible to explore a huge stretch of the trench floor, diving over 9,500 meters down, and it wasn't a desolate wasteland. They found vibrant, thriving communities. Marine ecologist Mengrandu even described the scene as seeing blood-red tentacles unfurling like delicate flowers in the trench, a stunning defiance of the harsh, crushing darkness. They uncovered sprawling colonies of tube worms, fields of clams as big as dinner plates, and ghostly white microbial mats, all gathered around cold seeps. These are spots where methane and hydrogen sulfide leak from cracks in the seafloor, providing all the chemical fuel needed for a complex ecosystem to flourish, completely independent of the sun. This single expedition has totally reshaped our understanding of life in the deep, proving that even in one of the world's most hostile places, entire ecosystems are thriving in the dark. Our third stop takes us to the western Pacific, just east of the Philippines. Here we find the Philippine Trench, a massive depression stretching for 1,320 kilometers and hitting a depth of around 10,540 meters. While other trenches are famous for their unique life, this one is notorious for its raw, untamable geological power. It's one of the most seismically active trenches in the world, a place where the Philippine sea plate grinds against the archipelago, capable of unleashing massive earthquakes. Recent seismic events have only confirmed how volatile this region is, with powerful earthquakes rumbling from deep within the trench. Exploring here is definitely not for the faint of heart. The geology tells its own fascinating story. The seafloor is a chaotic jumble of rock and sediment, much of it dumped there by powerful underwater avalanches known as turbidity currents. This constant tectonic grinding makes it a hotbed for geological research, giving us clues about the immense forces that shape our planet. While we haven't found the same kinds of extensive biological communities as in other trenches, the potential is huge. Any life that exists here would have to be adapted not just to insane pressure and darkness, but to a landscape that's constantly shifting and unstable. The Philippine Trench is still a largely unexplored frontier, a sleeping giant holding secrets about the very power of the earth itself. Now it's back to the Southwest Pacific to face our second deepest location, the Tonga Trench, with a maximum depth of about 10,800 meters. This trench is a place of extremes. It's not just the second deepest spot on the planet, it's also where the fastest moving tectonic plate on Earth is located. The Pacific Plate is slamming into the trench at a mind-blowing 24 centimeters per year, the fastest plate speed ever recorded. All this tectonic action makes the Tonga Trench a major focus for scientists. In late 2024, one of the most comprehensive expeditions ever attempted at these depths mapped over 42,000 square kilometers of the seafloor and conducted dozens of scientific studies. This mission pushed the limits of exploration, with a French diver even setting a new national depth record by descending to over 10,800 meters in a submersible.
The discoveries have been incredible. The expedition documented a stunning amount of biodiversity, from the elusive Magna pinna squid with its creepy elbow-like tentacles to huge sleeper sharks patrolling the abyss. But maybe the weirdest of all? The Tonga Trench is home to giant, shrimp-like crustaceans called supergiant amphipods. Once thought to be incredibly rare, recent studies suggest these creatures, which can grow to the size of a loaf of bread, might actually be one of the deep sea's biggest success stories, thriving in the crushing pressure. The Tonga Trench is a violent, dynamic, and surprisingly vibrant world, proving that life can find a way to flourish under the most extreme pressure imaginable. Our final stop is the most famous and formidable of them all. Located in the Western Pacific, it's the deepest known point on Earth, the Mariana Trench. At its lowest point, a small valley called Challenger Deep, the seafloor drops to nearly 11,000 meters. The pressure here is over 1,000 times what you feel at sea level. Picture an SUV balancing on your fingertip. The temperature is just above freezing, and it's a world of absolute permanent darkness.
Despite its fame from the iconic dives by Pickard and Walsh in 1960 to James Cameron's solo trip in 2012, the Mariana Trench is still profoundly unexplored. But recent expeditions led by organizations like the Ocean Exploration Trust and NOAA are starting to change that. Using advanced autonomous and remotely operated vehicles, these missions are finally peeling back the layers of mystery.
Recent findings have been nothing short of revolutionary. A study published in the journal Cell revealed an incredible diversity of microorganisms, with nearly 90% of the species-level genomes found being completely new to science. These microbes have basically written a survival manual for withstanding the insane pressure. But it's not just microbes. The trench is home to a whole host of bizarre creatures, giant, single-celled organisms called xenophyophores, huge swarms of scavenging amphipods, and the ethereal Hadal snailfish, a scaleless, transparent fish that holds the record for the deepest fish ever recorded. These expeditions are uncovering a world that is far more extensive and full of life than we ever thought possible, rewriting everything we thought we knew about the limits of life. From the volcanic vents of the Kermadec to the record-shattering depths of the Mariana, we've journeyed to the very edge of the known world. The latest expeditions are proving these trenches aren't empty voids. They are dynamic, living ecosystems that hold profound secrets about the origins of life and its incredible ability to adapt and survive. This is Earth's final frontier, a world of perpetual night that is only now, finally, beginning to see the light of human discovery. And we've barely scratched the surface. The vast majority of our ocean is still a giant question mark, a powerful reminder of our planet's immense and untamed wilderness. The discoveries happening right now are paving the way for a new era of exploration, pushing the boundaries of science and what it means to be alive. If you want to keep exploring the most mysterious corners of our planet, make sure to subscribe and join our community of deep-sea adventurers. And let us know in the comments below, which of these deep-sea trenches fascinates you the most?